On Halloween night in 2019, a year after the heartbreaking events fueled by Michael's rage, the people of Haddonfield were struggling to heal. 21-year-old Corey Cunningham arrived at the Allens' house to babysit Jeremy, as the Allens needed to attend a party. Mrs. Allen told Corey to put Jeremy to bed early, as he was still terrified from the previous year's massacre. It's unclear exactly how scared Jeremy was, but it was Jeremy who suggested they watch a horror movie together. Claiming he wasn't afraid, Corey then told the boy he needed to go to bed in 5 minutes, and went into the kitchen to grab a snack. Suddenly, Corey heard a noise and went to investigate. Jeremy had disappeared, followed by screams and cries for help. Corey also noticed the knife he'd placed on the stove was gone. It reappeared near the stairs, and he picked it up and continued searching for Jeremy. When Corey entered the attic room, Jeremy slammed the door shut outside. He seemed afraid of the dark or the confined space, and frantically told the boy to let him out. When that didn't work, Corey tried to break down the door. Mr. and Mrs. Allen had just returned home. As they entered, Corey kicked open the door, accidentally hitting Jeremy and sending him flying over the railing to the ground. They rushed over, and Mrs. Allen looked up to see Corey there, knife in hand, accusing him of murder. 3 years later, the scene returns to the female protagonist, Lori, who has bought a new house in town to live with her niece, Allison. Lori is trying to finish her autobiography, also as a way to heal herself. While on her way to work at the hospital, Allison is stopped by her ex-boyfriend, Officer Doug, who asks her to stop the car so he can talk to her. Doug says Allison's car's exhaust pipe is about to fall off, so he should get it fixed. As for Corey, after being arrested, he was acquitted and is now working at his stepfather Ronald's garage. Ronald later gave him a car to make commuting easier and to avoid being late for work. It just needs a little repair before it can be registered and used. On his way home from work, Corey stops at a convenience store to buy milk. Outside, he encounters a group of teenagers who ask him to buy them some beer. Corey refuses and is mocked by them, especially Terry and Billy. Because of his past, Corey gets so angry that he crushes the milk bottle. Terry, annoyed by the milk splashing on him, injuring his hand, Lori is there and rescues Corey. She then gives him a chance to get revenge. Lori takes Corey to the hospital to get his hand stitched up. Allison is a nurse in charge of wound care. While Dr. Mathis is disinfecting the wound, Corey accidentally knocks over some instruments in the room. Mathis tells Allison to clean it up quickly, but in a very bossy tone. Corey told her not to let that guy talk to her like that. The two begin to develop feelings for each other. Corey mentions he works in a garage, so Allison takes the opportunity to ask him to check her car. After inspecting it, Corey tells her to bring the car to the garage the next day, as they have the necessary tools there. At home, Allison is supported by both Lori and Lindsay in pursuing Corey. He currently lives with his mother, Joan, and stepfather. She treats Corey like a child, overprotecting him despite the town accusing him of murder. The next day, Allison brings her car to the garage for Corey to check, and he even teaches her how to ride a motorcycle. At the same time, Terry and his father arrived to fix something. He received a terrible scolding from his father. Lori went to the supermarket and ran into Officer Hawkins. They chatted and seemed to get along very well. As Lori was leaving, a woman approached her and accused her of still being cheerful after everything she had done. The woman was Sandra's sister, who had been a victim of Michael's attack 4 years earlier, was unable to speak, and had witnessed her husband's murder. The sister blamed Lori for luring Michael back to town. She was upset in her car, and Hawkins, seeing this, approached to try and comfort her. Allison dragged Corey along to a Halloween party. Initially shy, they partied wildly after the alcohol took effect. Corey took off his scarecrow mask to party even harder, only to encounter Mrs. Allen there. She was furious that Corey dared to drink and have fun despite having murdered her son. Even though Corey had been acquitted, she insisted that Corey had intentionally committed the crime. Corey was hurt and stormed out. When Allison tried to comfort him, he blamed her for bringing him there to be insulted. Corey walked home and once again encountered the group of bullies. Except for Margot, they all tried to harass him. Corey, enraged, taunted Terry, calling him a paternalistic jerk hated by his father. Unable to control himself, Terry pushed Corey down a drain, and they all fled. Corey lost consciousness and was dragged into a sewer. When he woke up and was trying to go outside, he was suddenly grabbed by the neck by Michael. However, when the killer looked into Corey's eyes, he seemed to see what Corey had gone through and let Corey go. Outside, a homeless man approached him with a knife, asked if he had seen Michael, and threatened him to go back inside to get his mask. Corey struggled and stabbed the man to death. Since facing Michael Myers, Corey seemed to have completely changed. Even Lori sensed this when he went to Allison's house. Corey apologized to his girlfriend and took her to the Allen family's now abandoned house and recounted the story from 3 years ago. Then the two went to dinner, where they unexpectedly ran into Doug. The police officer was drunk and started teasing Allison. Corey became annoyed and started yelling at him, forcing him to go back to his table with his friends. Lori, seeing Michael's eyes reflected in Corey's, felt uneasy and went to Corey's house to talk to Joan. There, Joan, despite expressing sympathy, still made insulting remarks to Lori, claiming that Haddonfield had chosen her son, Boogeyman, as the next one after Michael's disappearance. Corey took Allison home and gave her first kiss. When he left, Doug followed closely behind. Corey returned to the underpass and disappeared. Doug wandered around and discovered the body of a homeless man. Hearing noises inside the sewer, Doug crawled in. Corey confronted him and tried to kill him but was too weak. Only when Michael came to his aid, seemingly weakened, was Doug finally killed. Corey became confused and returned to Allison once more to pursue a deeper relationship. The next day at the hospital, Allison felt uncomfortable with her colleague Deborah. Although Allison was originally the one to be promoted, Deborah was favored because she seduced Dr. Mathis. Lori confided in Lindsay about her worries, and they met Mr. Allen there. He had never hated Corey. Completely unlike his wife, Mr. Allen even believed that the people of Haddonfield were gradually turning Corey into something they feared. Allen tried to approach Corey to talk, but when he looked into his eyes, he knew that the old Corey no longer existed, and the current Corey was descending into a dark tunnel. That night, Deborah and Dr. Mathis went to his private residence for a romantic encounter. While she was inside showering, she heard her lover screaming. Deborah put on her coat and came out, witnessing Corey, wearing a scarecrow mask, repeatedly stabbing Mathis. She quickly ran back inside and locked the door. Unaware that Michael was waiting there, he lifted her up and finished her off in his favorite position, pinning his prey to the wall. Having avenged his lover, Corey excitedly took Allison for a walk and then climbed to the rooftop of the radio station. They planned to leave Haddonfield forever. As they climbed down, they were spotted by the host. Willie, recognizing them, mocked them, in his usual sarcastic manner on his radio show. Corey returned home only to be scolded and slapped by his mother. Enraged, Corey went to Alan's abandoned house and slept right where Jeremy had fallen. The next morning, Halloween, Lori arrived and woke Corey up, telling him to stay away from Allison. But Corey said that if he couldn't have Allison, no one else would. Lori then left before he realized it. Corey called Allison, telling them they needed to leave town as soon as possible because he believed Lori was trying to kill him. After the call, Corey returned to the sewer and fought Michael for the mask. Michael, weakened, couldn't resist Corey and lost the mask. But the killer certainly wouldn't give up so easily. Allison returned home to pack her belongings and got into an argument with her grandmother. At such a young age, consumed by intense love, Allison naturally chose to leave with Corey. Corey then began his rampage, starting with the group of bullies. He vandalized Terry's car to lure them to the garage, where Ronald was watching a movie. The young men found Corey's car and tried to tow it away, but Terry called Billy, only to find out the boy had died. Corey started the truck and sped straight towards Stacy and Margot. The two girls climbed over the fence, but Margot was too slow and was hit head-on and dragged under the truck. Seeing that Margot was still alive, Stacy returned to save her friend but was hit by Corey with a wrench. Terry ran to get help from Ronald. As soon as Ronald heard, he gave the young man a gun for self-defense. But when he got outside, Ronald realized the person in front of him was his son and told Terry to stop. It was too late. Terry accidentally shot Ronald in the head. Corey then subdued Terry and killed him with a welding torch. The last victim was Margot, who was crushed in the head by Corey and run over by the truck. The psychopath returned home and murdered his own mother before running to the radio station, killing the receptionist, and then smashing Willie's face against the table, shattering his chin. Not stopping there, Corey cut out his tongue for insulting Allison. Allison went to the meeting place with Corey but he wasn't there. Calls and texts went unanswered. Lori tried to contact her niece but couldn't. Desperate, she called the police reporting a suicide and then pulled out a gun and pointed it at her head. Gunshots rang out, and Corey, hiding in the house, thought Lori was dead, but it was a trap. He was shot multiple times and fell down the stairs. Allison returned home, remembering Corey's words that Lori was trying to kill him. Hearing the car, he grabbed a knife and stabbed himself in the throat. Allison entered and was confronted with a scene that was identical to Lori murdering her boyfriend. The girl burst into tears and left. not giving Lori a chance to explain. A short time later, Michael arrived to retrieve the mask and then dealt with Corey. Here, the killer and Lori had a final confrontation. Allison, driving, received a call from the police saying Lori had called to report a suicide attempt. She then saw the building where the radio station was on fire and gradually understood what was happening. Returning to the house, Michael threw Lori around, but she still managed to fight back, pinning the killer's hand to the kitchen counter. Seeing this as an opportunity, Lori grabbed another knife to restrain his other hand. Then she pushed the refrigerator over to keep Michael's legs in check. Lori removed his mask and told Michael he wasn't Boogeyman, but just an ordinary man. After saying this, she slit Michael's throat, but he still managed to grab Lori's neck. Allison returned just in time to save her grandmother. To be sure, Lori cut Michael's tendons as well. When Hawkins and the other officers arrived, they found Michael lying motionless. They planned to finish Michael off once and for all. They tied him to the roof of a car and drove to Ronald's garage, where the grinder was located. The townspeople marched in a procession. Not wanting to miss the moment, Lori threw Michael into the grinder in front of everyone. The town's nightmare finally ended. Allison reconciled with Lori and then decided to leave Haddonfield alone. Lori completed her autobiography, ending with the statement that although Michael was gone, evil never truly disappeared, it only took on a different form. Hawkins visited her, and the two sat down to talk, building a new relationship. In the final scene, Michael's mask remained, lying quietly on the table. The movie ends here. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.